Hey guys, welcome to Tea and Stories, where I tell you a story, drink tea, and let you watch me play a random video game, or not. You can listen if that's more your style. Anyway, today I'm drinking purple tea from Ito En, and I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. There's no phonetics on the packaging to tell me, oh, it's pronounced this way. So I'm going with my gut. I did my usual, brewed it up, put 2 cubes of sugar in it. Yes, I use sugar cubes, when I'm not eating them, because I'm a giant sweet tooth. Like, oh my god, sweets. Just ask any of my friends, they'll tell you. It kind of reminds me of a not as strong Earl Grey. Maybe. Yeah, no, I'm sticking with Earl Grey. Anyway, if I can find it, I will link it in the description so you guys can check it out maybe. So, the first Tea and Stories was about John, who makes TikToks, and some of them featured our campaign. He saw the video, the first Tea and Stories, and by saw, I mean, hey guys, check out the last, couple of minutes of this video, because that's the main reason I did it. Because, I'm a giant ball of awkward and I don't like talking about my feelings to anyone, so I'll just put them in the video and people can take them as they are. Whatever. And, a few other people saw it too, and I got a lot of, oh, you scared. Yeah, no, it was a good time. So he brought back Eldeli's Lullabies. I think he's only done one, but if I remember right, he's still in the process of moving houses. I'm not entirely sure. I'm really bad at asking people what's going on in their lives. Unless I talk to you on the daily, which I don't talk to most of my players on the daily. There's like 2. But that's just because I've known them longer and we talk about random things. Like my cat, who's currently trying to get into stuff behind me and is driving me a little nuts. But he made a video response. It was very sweet. If you hadn't noticed from all of this, I'm not a super emotional person. Showing how I feel about things has never been my strong suit. But watching the video, I gotta admit, I teared up a little bit. I was like, oh no, I've caught the feels. In the good way, not the bad way. And yeah, I also might have grabbed my cat and proceeded to use her to dry said eyes, just a little bit, and she was not pleased with me. But really, are cats ever pleased with you unless you're doing exactly what they want all the time? Like, apparently I wasn't allowed to sleep, so Jaws decided to try to wake me up, and I slept through it, and I have a cut near my hairline on my forehead, so yeah, no, that's freaking wonderful. Anyway, she also yelled at me when I used her as, my tissue to dry my tears. And as, loud as she can be, it's still freaking adorable. It will always be adorable. So, I watched the entire video, and I realized John pointed out some good points. Like, yes, I'm not a DM like Matt Mercer, but my players are enjoying the game and themselves in general. They're making good memories, and really that's the important part. Everything else is just kind of like, if they're having fun and they're getting invested, and everything else that goes along with a really engaging game, it doesn't really matter that I'm not a good, okay. If I don't say I'm a good DM, they'll yell at me because I know they watch these now. So it doesn't matter if I'm not a crazy DM like Matt Mercer, who has all the goodies, like the Dwarven Forge set pieces, and the amazing table, and just the drive to go above and beyond and make crazy things happen in game, and designing stat blocks for things. And I'm just like, yeah, no, I think I want them to fight orcs today, so they're just gonna fight orcs today. I don't fucking care. Oh man, now that we're getting down into like the bottom of the cup of tea, I didn't brew that much because I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it. I'm really tasting the sugar, and I'm here for it because, like I said, giant sweet tooth. Alright. I gotta check my notes because, you know, I decided we're gonna have some sort of a script, which I'm not following very well, in case you're wondering. So yes, it has been brought to my attention that I am a good DM. I'm just not a Matthew Mercer, which is okay. You know, we're told not to compare ourselves to other people, but there's always gonna be that. I know this. And I'm always gonna end up comparing myself to Matt Mercer because, frankly, I think he's an amazing DM, and one day I aspire to have the skills that he does when it comes to dungeon mastering. And also the voices. Oh my god, the voices. I have one that I can do really well, and it freaks people out. Specifically Stella. And like, it literally gives her goosebumps, and she like, it creeps her the hell out. And you know, that may be why I do it, or I try to do it as often as I can. Because, you know, it's the one voice I do, and I'm good at it, so yeah. Oh, in case you're wondering, it's called Demon Voice. Need I say more? I still wish I could do all the voices, though. Like, just, My players can do more voices than I do, and, you know, it hurts me just a little bit. Yeah, I'm still scrolling through my notes, checking. So, in case you hadn't noticed, we don't play in person, which is fine. The internet is a wonderful thing. We have our own Discord server where we voice chat. We use Roll20 for maps because there's so freaking many of them. I'm just not good at theater of mind. Well, I am, but then, you know, someone else's version of the map is different from my version of the map, so it doesn't always translate well. And especially when the closest person that you play with is 400 miles away from you. It's good to just have that extra map, just to be sure that everyone is understanding where they are relative to the enemies, and yes. But still, it would be really cool to play in person with my friends and just go freaking crazy. I wonder how they'd take Demon Voice in person. Something to think about. So, back to the video. It was really touching and really sweet, and it was a great thing to get that one random day that I wasn't expecting. And in general, I don't expect things like that from people. Usually I'm the one going out of my way to make people happy, you know, just a little bit, because I like giving gifts. And usually my gifts are like physical gifts, like, here, I'm going to send this in the mail to you, instead of, I'm going to do this kind thing for you, or I'm going to send you a video specifically for you to, you know, let you know how much all this means to me. Once again, not good at emotions. Repress that shit. That's what I do. Unless it's for my cat, in which case I just gush. I am a literal geyser of emotions for my cat because I love her so much, and I'm never changing that. There's a reason why things are now shark themed. Because her name is Jaws. Yeah. I named my cat after a shark, and now sharks are named after my cat when they get called Jaws. It's a very, very amusing thing to see people's faces when I tell them my cat's name is Jaws. But it's even more surprising when I get something specifically meant for me. For a point of clarification, he did say I could share with people if I wanted to. That was yeah, if you want to. It's mostly for you, but it's okay if you share. So, but I'm not used to getting things like that specifically from people I haven't known that long. I've known John for, oh god, what is time? I don't remember what time's like after 2020. Yeesh. I think 2 years? Going on 2 years? 2 years-ish, somewhere in there. I don't know. Like I said, I barely know what day of the week it is now. Like, if we're being completely honest, I only know what day of the week it is because I have my phone to tell me what day it is. Like, I have alarms on my phone set for D&D days and Critical Role days. I talk about Matt Mercer. Of course I watch Critical Role. Like, for Jester for life. Okay, so yeah, no, this tea is pretty good. Not my favorite, but nice for a change. Oh look, my notes say it's been about 1.5 years, and I wrote this beginning of January, so still close to 1.5 years. I'm very, very slow at making friends. Like, I think the last friend I made was my friend Kylie, and we met online. As I meet all my friends online, because talking to people in person, yikes, no. It took a fair amount of time before I was like, yeah, hey, you want to be friends? I think it was like 3 years or something, I don't know. But I've known her a long time at this point. Like, we've been through some interesting stuff. Some really, really crazy stuff, to be honest. But, you know, a lot of it's not my story to tell, so we're not going to go into that. But that was like 3 years where we'd just randomly talk, like maybe once a week. And then to get something so kind and so sweet from John after 1.5 years, maybe 2 years, it blew my mind. Because I don't expect anything from anyone most of the time. So that was like, what? Oh my god. I have the best players in the world. And then, you know, I proceeded to use my cat as a tissue again. Not blowing my nose on her, for clarification. I don't do that. I'm not that cat mom. You know, just hold her and rub my face on her and dry my tears. You know, or my not tears. You know, just dry my eyes a little bit. So, basically, with this whole entire rambling mess of a video, because, you know, it's been like a month since I've been able to record anything, because my computer decided, well, not my computer's fine, it was my 12-year-old monitor that decided to kick the bucket, and I can't, with one monitor, I can't, nope, So what I'm trying to say is, thanks, John. The video really made my day. And you are forever welcome in any of my campaigns. And I hope whatever happens in the next one, which is coming up soon, there's 2, maybe 3 sessions left. I hope it inspires you to keep making TikToks. And I hope it brings a smile to your face every Friday that we play, you know. Provided I don't sit there and have a mental breakdown come April, because, you know, anniversaries suck. No, I'm kidding. It's gonna be fine. Anyway, I'm gonna finish my tea, which I just did, because there wasn't that much left. And I'm gonna head out and go and record the video that's gonna play with this. So I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.